Good evening and thank you for joining us for Crimson News at 5. I'm Mark Hanrahan.
And I'm Whitney Ward. We begin with breaking news tonight. Police in Idaho and Washington are searching for a man on a multi-state crime spree.
Yeah, police in 2 western Washington counties and in Post Falls are looking for Jesse Spitzer. Take a look at your screen right here. He is considered armed and dangerous. He's evaded capture several times and was last seen fleeing from police in Post Falls just this morning.
So Kyle Simchuk is outside of the Post Falls police station this evening. Kyle, what do we know from police at this hour?
Well, yeah, Whitney, Post Falls police are still looking for Spitzer, who's considered armed and dangerous. Police say when they confronted him this morning, Spitzer pulled out a gun and threatened to shoot himself if police did not leave the scene. So here's another look at him. 30-year-old Jesse Spitzer from Sultan, Washington. As you can see, he has neck and face tattoos, but authorities believe he's using makeup to hide them and may have shaved his head. Early this morning, Post Falls police were investigating a car burglary where firearms were stolen. Then a caller reported a suspicious man approaching a neighbor's home. Police say they chased Spitzer through yards and fences near the Woodbridge subdivision. Officers and a tactical team surrounded a shed they believed Spitzer was hiding in. The commotion woke up neighbors who were told to shelter in place.
SWAT vehicles set up, and a couple hours after that, windows started rattling with the flashbangs, and I was at the neighbor's house. There's numerous little souvenirs around there from the flashbangs, and I guess we got the all clear around 8 o'clock or so.
Spitzer managed to escape this morning. He wasn't in that shed. He's also wanted in Snohomish and Chelan counties for burglary, assault, and possession of a stolen vehicle. He managed to evade a SWAT team in western Washington on Friday, and Saturday was tracked by a K-9 team into some woods near Gold Bar, Washington, but still managed to run away. Spitzer was sentenced in 2011 for shooting a Nevada sheriff's deputy. If you have any information about where he is, contact the Post Falls Police Department. Reporting live in North Idaho, Kyle Simchuk, Crim 2 News.
Thank you, Kyle. And we do have his picture on our website as well. Also tonight, we are learning more about what happened in the moments before police shot and killed a man who was threatening a baby in Spokane. When officers arrived on scene near Chief Gary Park, they made contact with a woman but say they had difficulty getting information because of a language barrier. Police then entered the home and say they saw a man holding a baby at knife point. According to court documents, those officers did try to de-escalate the situation, but the man then went upstairs with the child, and responders said they believed he might try to light a can of kerosene on fire and cause an explosion. 2 officers spoke with the man from the bottom of the stairs, though they ended up shooting the man inside the house. He later died. A Spokane independent investigation is ongoing.
Well, one of our top stories that we are tracking tonight, 2 separate women reported 2 separate attacks near Manitou Park last Thursday. And now Spokane Special Victims Unit detectives are tracking down the man behind the assaults.
But with no arrests made yet, the community on the South Hill is being extra cautious. Crim 2's Amanda Rowley shares more now about how local runners are reacting to the news.
Spokane runners are on high alert.
My awareness is a little heightened.
Last week, 2 women reported a man attacked them in the morning near Manitou Park. Spokane police say in these 2 separate incidents, the suspect ran up behind the women, grabbed them in a sensitive area, and ran away. Spokane Special Victims detectives have identified a person of interest, but at this time have not made an arrest.
This now reminds me again to maybe not keep my earbuds in when I run, or being mindful of what time of day it is.
Jill Johnson is part of a Facebook group for Spokane runners. She says news of the attacks at Manitou has spread quickly.
I'm grateful for our police department for taking such quick action and the news stations for reporting it so that we know. We're spreading the word so that we're more careful.
Right now, she is training for a 10K race and eventually a half marathon. You'll likely find her working out on the South Hill, but for now, she is steering clear of Manitou Park.
I try not to live in fear, but it also is a reminder that I need to be aware that this is happening. I'm going to stay away from Manitou Park for a while, look for opportunities to run or walk with a friend. And if I do go alone, to make sure I text my husband and let him know where I'm going to be.
Investigators say they are not releasing a description of the suspect right now. That's because detectives are working to verify pertinent information. Meantime, detectives will continue tracking any leads. If you have any information regarding these incidents or similar acts, you are asked to call Crime Check. Amanda Rowley, KREM 2 News.
Well, the victim impact statements for the Freeman High School shooting were on pause today after 2 days of emotional testimony. The court is not in session today. So far, we have heard from students, parents, teachers, and loved ones who are all impacted by the killer's actions that day, now more than 4 years ago. We are expecting to hear from as many as 150 survivors before the shooter is then sentenced. Testimony resumes tomorrow morning.
Tonight, Spokane Public Schools is considering temporarily increasing pay for substitute teachers. The school board votes tonight to approve a $50 a day pay increase for those subs. It would then raise the daily rate they're paid to about $200. The increase is just intended to get more subs back in the classroom because right now only about 30% of them in SPS are accepting assignments. If that is approved, the pay raise would then expire when the state of emergency related to this pandemic is over.
Let's talk weather. Fog, and more fog. It's been a very gray January so far with no end in sight. Meteorologist Thomas Patrick standing by in the Outdoor Weather Center tonight. And Thomas, more fog tomorrow?
More fog tomorrow, at least of the patchy variety. So some areas are always faring better than others when it comes to the fog in the morning hours. And even in the afternoon, it looked like areas close to Pullman were starting to get, well, yesterday it was sunshine. Today it actually squeezed out a little bit of snow, as we just saw in the last hour or so. So it's always just kind of these subtle changes, but still, generally speaking, more of the same. Still cloudy right now, still expecting some fog during the morning hours. Our temperatures today only got up to about 31 degrees, so that's just where we've been stuck for the last several. So here is Doppler Radar. You don't see anything going on, but I just saw some cameras near the Pullman area that started to see some light flurries, just enough to coat the road, not unlike what happened here in Spokane yesterday morning, where that fog just squeezing out just a little bit of precipitation that's flying underneath the radar scans. And again for tomorrow, another chance for fog in those morning hours. I'll say this, our computer models are a bit more optimistic for sunshine in the afternoon. I'm not so on board with that, but we are looking for some whole-scale changes over the course of this weekend. So we'll show you when you're most likely to see some sun and snow in the extended forecast.
Thomas, thank you very much. Well, the hope that Omicron wouldn't be as serious as previous variants like Delta quickly fading a bit. Today, we broke the record for the most people hospitalized in Spokane County during the pandemic. Spokane Regional Health is reporting 193 people currently hospitalized in the county. That's an increase of 13 people just since yesterday. Cases jumped back up into the thousands today as well, with 1,300 and new cases reported today.
Well, new at 5 actually. There are 2 new COVID testing sites coming to Spokane County. The Regional Health District announced today that site will open up in Meade and another in downtown Spokane. So the Meade site will open tomorrow at the Union Stadium parking lot on North Market. It's going to operate Wednesday through Sunday from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. And the downtown location opens Friday at the Chaz in the Denny Murphy parking lot. That's going to be open Tuesday through Friday from 9 to 5 and then on Saturdays from 9 to 4. Appointments are encouraged but not required for either of those sites. It's the healthcare company Curative that is helping run them. You can go to their website to make appointments for either location. And once you have taken the test, the results can either be emailed to you or texted directly to your phone.
It is a controversial topic. Should there be a COVID vaccine requirement for students in our local schools? Well, now the state has made it easier for you to weigh in. The Board of Health is launching a new survey to gather feedback on how adding the COVID vaccine to its required list of vaccines would impact parents, families, and caregivers. Right now, the state requires 11 vaccines for students. Schools across the state have been forced to cancel classes and shut down schools entirely because of COVID cases among staff and students.
The Washington Department of Health says 2 cases of a new Omicron subvariant called BA2 have been found here in our state.
But how concerned should we be at this point about this new type of COVID? Well, state and national experts, they say that from what we know so far, there's not immediate cause for concern.
So the subvariant has popped up in about 40 other countries, most notably in Denmark. Early analysis from that country has shown no difference, though, in how many people are hospitalized because of it. So Dr. Larry Corey from Fred Hutch over on the west side, which is one of the world's leading virologists, says it's actually not that big of a deal because this variant seems to be behaving the same as its other cousins.
I'm not surprised. There were many, many variants of Delta. We didn't see any differences between them as far as what occurred. So Shakespearean play, there's much ado about nothing.
Hopefully he's right. Infectious disease experts at UW say the virus will continue to evolve as it spreads due to the high number of unvaccinated people, and it can continue moving into new populations, and it's going to keep evolving as scientists just try to keep up with it.
Well, it turns out you don't have mail.
Everybody was coming in asking the same thing. I'm missing my packages.
Yep, we're not talking about emails, we're talking about real mail. And some people in North Spokane say they've been seeing a lot of delays in actually getting their mail delivered. So we asked the post office, what's going on?